Greetings. Greetings. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another story time with Dr. Tinsley. Happy Thursday. It's March 26th. I hope all are doing well and sheltering in place. So, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine in the stories that I read every day. Happy, and blessed Thursday. We are here to see another day, experience another day, and I'm happy to be here to share stories with you. So I have 2 stories to share with you today, as what I've been doing. The first one is a simple children's book, and then I read a little more complex. So the first one is an all-time children's favorite, The 3 Billy Goats Gruff. And the author is Bonnie Dobkin. The 3 Billy Goats Gruff. Once upon a time, in a beautiful green valley, there lived 3 brothers who just happened to be goats. They were known as the 3 Billy Goats Gruff, and they were as different could be. The oldest brother was Big Billy Goat Gruff. He was big, and he was strong, and he was rough, and he was tough. He had thick, curvy horns and a head like a boulder, and his hooves crushed the rocks when he walked. He wasn't afraid of anything. Being big can sometimes make you feel like that. Pages are stuck together. The second brother was Middle Billy Goat Gruff. He was half the size of his big brother, and his horns were short and thin. He was a very nervous goat, and he sometimes thought that no one listened to him. Being in the middle can sometimes make you think like that. The youngest brother was Little Billy Goat Gruff. He was a tiny little goat with tiny little hooves, and the nubs of his horns barely poked from the top of his head. He liked to talk, and he thought he was very smart. Being small can sometimes make you act like that. Now, what the 3 Billy Goats liked to do more than anything in the world was eat the long green grass in their beautiful valley. They ate in the morning, they ate in the afternoon, they ate in the evening until the sun went down. They ate so much that there soon was very little grass left to eat. What will we do, said Middle Billy Goat Gruff. If we don't find more grass, we'll soon be nothing but skin and bones. Then we'll find more grass, said Big Billy Goat Gruff. But where? Asked the middle brother. Where are we going to find more grass? I know, said Little Billy Goat Gruff, feeling very smart. We'll go to the meadow on the other side of the river. We can stay for days and eat, and soon we'll be very, very fat. But Little Billy Goat's idea was not as simple as it seemed. You see, the only way to cross the river was on a long wooden bridge. Under the bridge lived a hideous, horrible, stinky old troll. The troll had bumpy green skin and great froggy eyes. He had a big squash nose that was always dripping. His teeth were snaggly. His claws were fraggly, and he smelled like a foot. Oh, yes, he also ate anyone who tried to cross his bridge. We can't go across that bridge, cried Middle Billy Goat Gruff. What about the troll? I'm not worried about the troll, said Big Billy Goat Gruff. Well, I am, said his middle brother. I don't feel like being eaten for lunch. Don't worry, said Little Billy Goat Gruff, feeling very smart. Indeed, I have a plan. And he told them what it was. The next morning, Little Billy Goat Gruff set off across the bridge. Trip, trap, went his tiny hooves on the wooden plank. A terrible roar rose up from below. Who's trip-trapping across my bridge? It is only I, Little Billy Goat Gruff, said the goat. Why are you walking across my bridge? Yelled the hideous, horrible, stinky old troll. I'm going to eat the green grass in the meadow and make myself fat, said the goat. Oh, no, you're not, roared the troll, because I'm coming up to eat you. And he leaped on top of the bridge. Little Billy Goat Gruff trembled where he stood. Oh, please, Mr. Troll, don't eat me. I'm too small, and you'll be finished in one gulp. Wait for my brother. He's much bigger and fatter than I am. Thought the troll. Why not? I can always catch you on your way back home. Very well, said the troll. Be off with you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Troll, said Little Billy Goat Gruff, and he trapped his way to the far side of the bridge and into the meadow. A little while later, Middle Billy Goat Gruff set off across the bridge. Clip, clop, went his hooves on the wooden planks. A roar rose up from below. Who's clopping across my bridge? Middle Billy Goat shook so hard he almost fell down. It's only I, Middle Billy Goat Gruff. Why are you walking across my bridge? Yelled the hideous, horrible, stinky old troll. I'm going to eat the green grass in the meadow and make myself fat, said the goat. Oh, no, you're not, roared the troll, because I'm coming up to eat you. And he leaped on top of the bridge. Middle Billy Goat Gruff wobbled where he stood. Please, Mr. Troll, don't eat me. I'm not very big, and you'll be done in 2 gulps. Wait for my brother. He's much bigger and fatter than I am. Thought the troll. I can eat your big brother, then catch you and the little goat on your way home. Very well, said the troll. Be off with you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Troll, said Middle Billy Goat Gruff. And he clopped as fast as his hoofs could take him to the far side of the bridge and into the meadow. A little while later, while the sun was high in the sky, Big Billy Goat Gruff set off across the bridge. Trump, 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 went his hooves on the wooden planks. A roar rose up from below. Who's trumping across my bridge? It is I, Big Billy Goat Gruff, said the goat. Why are you walking across my bridge? Yelled the hideous, horrible, stinky old troll. I'm going to eat the green grass in the meadow and make myself fat. Oh, no, you're not, roared the troll, because I'm coming up to eat you. Well, said Big Billy Goat Gruff, what are you waiting for? And the troll leaped on top of the bridge. Big Billy Goat Gruff stared at the troll. The troll stared at Big Billy Goat Gruff. Then Big Billy Goat Gruff lowered his head and charged. He knocked the troll down with his big hard head. He stomped on the troll with his huge sharp hoofs. Then he picked up the troll with his long curved horns and tossed him high into the air. The troll spun in circles and dropped into the river with a great splash. As the rushing waters carried him away, he shouted and spouted and spit and screamed and yelled something nasty about goats. That was the last anyone ever saw of the hideous, horrible, stinky old troll. And the three Billy Goat Gruffs, they lived happily in the valley for the rest of their lives, eating the green, green grass on both sides of the river and getting very fat. And again, that's the end. This is the story of the three Billy Goats Gruff. And I just want to say to children, these are fantasy stories. There's no real troll that lives under a bridge. There's no mean monster troll that's going to get anybody that crosses a bridge. These are make-believe stories where we use our imagination. Okay? Hi, Val and Olivia. Hi, Aunt Carol. And hi, Catherine. I'm glad to see you with me today. So I have a second story to read. Excuse me 1 second. Get very thirsty reading. This next book I've had for a very, very, very long time, and it's called Cornrows. And the author is Camille Yarbrough. And I want to share, I have an autographed copy of this book that she signed for my children. And it says, to the obliging children, this book is a tool. I hope you will use it well. Love, Camille Yarbrough, 1988. So this book was originally published when my daughter was 1 year old in 1979. And so I bring to you today Cornrows by Camille Yarbrough. I love this book. In fact, my girlfriend Diane McNeil and I hosted a book signing for Camille Yarbrough over 30 years ago when she had published her second book called The Shimmer Shine Queens. So for those older children, The Shimmer Shine Queens is a chapter book. So Cornrows and The Shimmer Shine Queen. The dedication is to Mama and Daddy who did what they could in their day, in their way, to pass on to their children the spirit of what could be, what would be tomorrow. And boys and girls, these are black and white illustrations, but they are beautiful. Hi, my name is Sister. My other name is Shirley Ann, but everybody calls me Sister. This is my little brother, Mike. Everybody calls him brother, just like they call me sister. I just want to share, they called my father brother. Mama says that's the way they do down south, where she was born. But you know what? I call brother me too, because everything I do, he has to do too. Like when Mama says, I can go out to play till it gets dark, me too has to say, can I go too? He's such a baby. But we have good times. Now we're going inside to hear some of Mama and Great-Grandma's stories. Every evening we hear storytelling time. We have storytelling time. And Mama and great grandma, they tell some serious dynamite stories. Like yesterday when we went in, great grandma was fixing Mama's hair in cornrows. That's what great grandma calls those braids. She said the braids got that name because our old folks down south planted rows of corn in the fields, and the rows in the cornfields looked like the rows of braids that they fixed in their hair. Mama's hair was looking pretty. So I said, "Fix my hair in braids, great grandma." And me too said, "Fix my hair in braids, great grandma." Then I said, "What's the name of your style, Ma?" And old Me Too said, "Please, Ma, what's the name of yours?" Well, Mama and great grandma started laughing. They were feeling good because every day when Mama comes home from work, they get together and have a lot of fun talking about what's going on at church and remembering and laughing about when they lived down in Alabama. Sometimes we didn't even have to ask to go out and play because great grandma says, "You kids go on out and play now." Anyhow, Mama's hair was ready, and she stood up and turned around in front of the mirror like she was going to dance or something, showing off in her new pretty dress that Daddy bought her. Then she bent down and kissed me on the top of my head, and she said, "I delight in telling you, my child. Yes, you please me when you ask it. It's a hairstyle that's called suku. In Yarbrough, it means basket." Me Too said, "Basket?" Great grandma said, "Yes, basket." Then old silly Me Too looked at me and said, "You're going to be a basket head." Then he fell out on the floor laughing. But great grandma said, "Brother." And he got up quick because he knew great grandma would get on his case. I asked Mama, "What would you put in the basket, Mama?" And she said, "I think I'll put love." Then old knock-kneed Me Too asked great grandma, "What will you put in the basket, great grandma?" And great grandma said, "I think I'll put love." Then he asked her, "If I fall down, will the love go away, great grandma?" "Oh, no, darling," she said, "because the love like the basket will be a part of you." So I asked, "What kind of love will you put in the basket, great grandma?" And she said, "Hand me down love, baby." And of course, Me Too had to ask, "What kind of love will you put in my basket, great grandma?" "Hand me down love, dumpling," she said. Then great grandma picked Me Too up and hugged him in her lap and started humming, just like she does when we're in church. Mm-hmm. Mm. And she said, "And if you fall down, that old hand-me-down love won't go nowhere because it's going to be a part of you, just like the basket I'm fixing to braid in your hair." Then Mama told me to bring the stool and come sit down so she could fix my hair. Mama and great grandma always sing a little bit before they tell their stories. They say that so they can get in the mood. When I heard Mama start singing real quick, I sat down on the stool in front of her and said, "Mama, tell me a story about cornrowed hair." And real quick, Me Too looked up at great grandma and said, "Great grandma, tell me a story about cornrowed hair, too." And Mama started singing, "I'ma tell a story about cornrowed hair." Excuse me. And great grandma said, "I'ma tell a story about cornrowed hair." Then great grandma put Me Too down on his little chair so she could get at his head. And she said, "Child, come and sit by my knee, and I will tell you about your family tree, and I will dress you as a prince should be, and the right name will come to both you and me, and I will braid your hair, and I will braid your hair." We were real quiet then, and great grandma started telling the story. There is a spirit that lives inside of you. It keeps on growing, it never dies. Sometimes when you're afraid, it trembles. And sometimes when you're hurt and ready to give up, it barely flickers. But it keeps growing. It never dies. Now, a long, long time ago, in a land called Africa, our ancient people worked through that spirit to give life meaning and to give praise. And through their spirit, to give wait a minute, I'm sorry. Now a long, long time ago in a land called Africa, our ancient people worked through that spirit to give life meaning and to give praise. And through their spirit gave form to symbols of courage and honor and wisdom and love and strength. Symbols which live forever just to give praise. Then Mama said some symbols took form in royal stools. And others took form in sculptured ware. And some took form in ritual masquerade. And some took form in braided hair. Me Too asked, Mama, who was wearing the braided hair? Oh, lots of people, Mama said. Everywhere you look. Almost everyone that you would see. People from Egypt to Swaziland, from Senegal to Somali. Those are all countries in Africa. Those are countries on the continent of Africa. You could tell the clan, the village, by the style of hair they wore. Then the Yoruba people were wearing 30 braids and more. You would know the princess, queen, and bride by the number of the braid. You would know the gods they worship by the pattern that they made. Then a terrible thing happened. I said, "What, Mama?" The clan, the village, the priest, the bride, the royalty, all were packed into the slaver ships and brought across the sea, where they trembled on the auction block and on the chain gang line, where they flickered on the pyre and while hanging from the pine. And the style that once was praise, then was changed to one of shame. Then the meanings were forgotten, and forgotten was the name. Me Too asked Great Grandma, did the spirit die? And Great Grandma said, no such thing. If you're quiet, you can still hear the royal rhythms, still feel the spirit in the air. Look around and you will see the old, old symbol that we now call cornrowed hair. You see, the spirit of the symbol is not changed by time, place, class, or fame, and not even by hate or shame. Oh, no. You see, it's the spirit that makes the symbol, and the spirit goes by many names. Then Mama said, little girl, little boy, let's play the hair name game. Every day a different style, every day a different name. Me Too said, me first. Where can I get a name, Great Grandma? Great Grandma said, she's going to tell you, listen to your mama. And Mama said, you can name it for a river, you can name it for a flower, for the year, for the month, for the day, or for the hour. We started clapping, and Great Grandma said, keep your head still, boy. You can name it for a poem, for a city, for a school. You can name it for your teacher or for the golden rule. You can name it for a hero, for a proverb, or a fish. You can name it for a star, for a song, or for a wish. I said, how should we braid it? Great grandma said, braid it under, braid it over, braid it upward, braid it down, braid in circles, braid in angles, then you wear it like a crown. I said, how should we style it? Great grandma said, style it fancy, style it simple, style with seeds and cowrie shells, style with ribbons, style with ivory, style with beads and tinkly bells. Me Too said, what shall we name it, Mama? Mama said, name it Robeson, name it Malcolm. You can name it Dr. King. Name it Du Bois, name it Garvey, name it something you can sing. Name it Tubman, name it Hamer, or you can style a Fannie Lou. Name it Nzinga, Rosa Parks, and please name it Hatshepsut too. Hatshepsut was a queen in Africa, Queen Hatshepsut. Name it Powell, name it Carver, Richard Wright, and Langston Hughes. Name it Belafonte, name it Baldwin, name it Glory, name it Blues. Name it Miriam, Catherine Dunham, Mary Methune, and Josephine. Name it Aretha, name it Nina, name it Priestess, name it Queen. By that time, I had some serious cornrows. So did Me Too. Great grandma said, little girl, little boy with the cornrow style, let me see your pretty face, let me see your handsome smile. Now, what are you going to name it? I named mine after Langston Hughes because I can say one of his poems. Me Too named his after Batman. He's such a baby. Then Daddy came home from work and he said we looked so fine that after we ate our dinner, he was going to take us all out to hear some sounds. And he did too. And that, my dear children, is the end. That is the story of Cornrows